Welcome back, everybody, to Torchbearer. We did some shopping over the break, so we're all ready to carry on.
I totally just lost one of the feet of my chair. Excuse me.
Oh dear.
Quick laborer test will fix that up, right? Let me review everybody's equipment. So how are we doing here? Upagast, we were just talking about yours. So you've got your spell book that takes up 2 slots of your backpack.
Yep.
You have your skill tools for cartography, a tinderbox, a flask of oil in your bag, and a flask of oil on your pouch or in your belt, and then a small sack, right?
Yep, and can I put stuff in the sack in the backpack?
So if the sack is in the backpack, it's currently folded up small. To put anything in it, you'll need to take it out and then stuff things into it. But then you have to carry it in your hand.
Okay.
It basically turns a one-hand slot into a large hand.
Yeah, because I've just realized I don't have any rations.
It's okay. There are other characters; they can carry things.
I have all the rations.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So you're carrying a lantern in your free hand. You have your spell supplies, which is your ring of focus. You were saying. You have a wizard hat, which obviously. You're wearing a cloak. Now, the cloak is actually relevant because it's not just color. If you get caught out in the rain and you need to make a health test, you can say, well, I have a warm cloak. I pull it around myself and get an advantage die for that. It's an appropriate thing to have for certain tests. It's also physically a cloak. It's a big piece of cloth you can use for other stuff. Okay. Marywyn, how about you?
It's usually me or Dave.
Sorry, folk. It looks like, yeah.
There we go.
He's moving slowly. We've almost got him back.
I can hear you. Are we good? Everybody okay?
Yeah, we've got you back.
It wasn't a full crash this time, I guess.
No.
Okay. So, Andrew, you've got some candles, 2 sets of fresh rations, tinderbox, some rope. Now, that rope, this is an interesting thing about the gear. The rope is coiled up and in your bag, but you can also wear it around your chest if you have a torso slot.
Oh, well, I don't.
You don't, but it's a thing that you can throw over your shoulder and wear around your.
I have garlic around my neck, though.
Yeah, so that's another fun thing. So you can wear garlic around your neck, which is good for 2 things: cooking advantage dice and warding off vampires.
Yeah.
So you got some garlic around your neck, like classic halfling bling. You got a candle in one hand, and we'll talk about weapons in a second. You got your leather armor, and you got your backpack, thieves' tools. Everything's all set. The reason why I would suggest starting with wine instead of water is because water can help you with hungry and thirsty, but wine can help you recover from angry or afraid.
I've been reminded by chat I'm slightly remiss in something, so I'll be 1 second.
Oh, you have an actual wizard hat. Okay, and then Harga the dwarf, what have you got for your equipment?
I haven't really filled much in because I did non-gear equipping things during the break.
Yeah, okay.
Be sick.
So,
not throw up sick, but
the light source is light sources are pretty covered. I mean, you may want to take a torch with you, but light sources are pretty covered. You might also just want to have a backpack with a large sack in it, and you can be the treasure mule.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to just have a lot of space. So I'm going to put at least a large sack in here. I'm going to put it at the bottom, though.
Yeah, fold it up, shove it in the bottom.
Large.
Beautiful wizard hat, Dave. I love it.
Oh, that's a lot of A's in there.
Okay, perfect.
+1 die for sorting.
Yeah, magic stuff, religious stuff. I don't really care about that.
Need those. Now, do you have any skills you might want to use in the dungeon? Like, if you bring armorer's tools, that takes up 1 slot.
Yeah, what skills do I have that might have?
Do I need cooking tools, by the by?
No, because you can cook food that doesn't require the use of a bunch of complicated stuff.
Oh, but I need a healer's kit.
Healing tools, yep.
Let's see. I've got armorer.
Yep.
Which might have tools. Dungeoneer and fighter. I mean, fighter.
They don't. Yeah, fighter is a thing to fight with, which could be your
orator.
fist.
There's no tools there.
Yep.
Scout. I don't know about scout or labor.
Yeah, so let me read the description of tools. So some tools require that you have the skill. Others they give you a bonus. So let me find exactly the description.
Oh, I'm bringing a grappling hook. Does anyone else already have a grappling hook?
No.
I just have rope.
Here we go. Okay, so here's the thing. You have the bare minimum. Yeah, you have the bare minimum needed for your skills in your pack. Scrolls, inks, shovels, hammers, pots, pans. That's why space is so limited. It doesn't mean that you can build a ship or pull an anvil out of your sock. To fully utilize the skill, you need to be in town or a similar location. If you lack the adequate tools for a job, treat it as a factor in the tests. Having special tools that take up a slot give you an advantage die whenever you make those tests. So, Dave, you can actually take your cartographer's tools off if you want to, but you assume you have the tool.
I'll keep them. They seem incredibly important.
Yeah. So for you, Andrew, like if you don't want to have healing tools, that's fine.
Oh, I do want to have healing tools though, because I'm not that good at healing.
Perfect. There you go. Okay. So let me get back to character creation here. We can carry on. So you get some other free shit like a weapon and junk. So here we go. And choose your weapon. If your class is magician, you start the game with a dagger.
Yeah.
So you can write that down. Dagger.
Great, that's the one that you can use anyways.
Yep. A dagger, the effects of a dagger in conflict rules are a dagger counts as a weapon, basically. You're just not unarmed. If you look on the, you can get more detail about, like, if you maneuver with a dagger, it can do some stuff for you. But basically just, it doesn't give you any bonuses. It just means you're not fist fighting if you get in a fight.
Right.
Harga, you can start with one weapon of your choice and have the option to choose a shield as a second additional weapon. So since you're going to be the main fighter, having a versatile weapon like a sword might be a smart move.
And so that would be a belt?
Sword can be carried one or belt weapon slot.
So I'm going to put it in my belt for now. And I start with leather, did you say?
You start with leather armor, but you both get leather armor.
Okay.
You and the halfling.
And then,
and now, do you want a shield? Do you want a shield or a helmet?
A helmet.
Okay, so you just skip the shield. Don't worry about that right now. Okay, and then halfling, you can choose one weapon of your choice. Do you have a choice already picked, Merrywin?
I think I'll use a sling.
Sling, nice.
Makes sense since I'm going to be a supporting cast.
Yeah. So the sling will give you 2 extra dice on maneuver. So you're going to be setting Harga up for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for the heavy one. Okay. And then starting armor, your leather armor, it's torso worn 1. Helmet, if you chose to get one, which you did, Harga, you get 1. Halfling, you can have a helmet as well if you want.
Great.
So,
is there any reason not to have a helmet?
There's no reason whatsoever.
Okay, then I will have a helmet.
Okay, perfect.
And just checking, does someone have a tinderbox already?
Dave.
I do.
Okay, good.
Right.
Double tinderbox. Perfect. So a helmet has one use, and it just ablates. So your helmet will just get bonked, and then it'll eat up damage.
Fall off.
Okay, so
I'm
now
basically bringing nothing with me.
no, that's fine. That's what you want because you're going to fill up your inventory. Okay, so starting prayers and spells. Magicians begin with 3 known spells. You begin with Wisdom of the Sages, and you're going to roll randomly for 2 more spells. So
what does Wisdom of the Sages do first?
I'll tell you what they all do at once, so I can look them all up in one place.
Okay.
So roll
2d12.
2d6, and I'll tell you what you get.
Oh,
You got 12.
Destiny
Okay.
of Heroes.
You get the spell. Destiny of Heroes.
Seems good.
And,
I'm actually gonna. Sorry, I gotta disappear for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Eldritch Dartz.
Did you get
Magic missile.
Did you get Eldritch Dartz? Yeah, Eldritch Dartz.
I'm the best wizard. Maybe. I don't know what they do yet.
Nice. So let's go talk about what those do. So magic spells. What's the first one? Wisdom of Sages.
Yep.
All right. Intoning their true names, the magician summons long-dead sages from beyond the Shroud of Worlds to whisper the translation of spoken or written words into his ear.
Okay, so like learn language thing.
Yep. And then what was the other one that you have?
Destiny of Heroes.
Destiny of Heroes. It summons. The spell is pay to win, and it. Let's see. Destiny of Heroes, channeling raw power into the skein of destiny and strumming the taut strings like a harp. The magician infuses allies with heroic power. It allows you to increase your order of might by 1 for a conflict. So it will allow you to take on bigger foes. So you can fight like a troll at their level. It allows you to get on their level. It also makes you just like more mighty than your enemies.
Cool.
Yeah. And then Eldritch Dartz. The magician rips missiles of raw burning ether through the Shroud of Worlds and hurls them at those who have offended him. Eldritch Dartz counts as a... basically, you replace the attack action with the Arcanist skill. So normally you'd have to roll Fighter.
Oh, rad. Yeah, I don't have any fighter, but I have 4 Arcanist.
Yeah, and so you could switch with Arcanist. Also, you get a bonus to these if you use it while you're angry, if you have the angry condition.
Oh, bonus while angry. Okay.
So
and I only have like one of those a day, though, right?
Yes, yeah, one of those. You can prepare them, and then you cast them. So you have to have it memorized, have the ability to speak, and be able to gesture with a single hand. So if you're carrying a lantern, you can arcane darts in one hand. Okay, so the last thing that we need for your characters, I just love that Eldritch Dartz is better when you're angry. You're like throwing around rage darts. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is determine your character's belief and instinct, and then I'll tell you what the adventure is about, and then you'll pick your goal, and then we will dungeon. So, let me see here. It's page 19? Yeah, page 19. Okay, so, first choose your alignment. Are you aligned with the forces of progress, order, and civilization, the forces of freedom, entropy, and savagery, or are you unaffiliated and think that having food, family, and shelter are more important than some ideal or ideology?
Yeah, I'm neutral. Neutral as.
So, unaffiliated? Okay.
I think I'm also neutral.
Unaffiliated? Yeah, most people are.
But what about most dwarfs, though?
Yeah, what do you think? I feel like law or unaffiliated are both appropriate for you.
Yeah, I feel like chaos is not.
Probably not.
I think. How did they describe the kind of lawfully?
Law
one?
represents the forces of progress, order, and civilization.
I.e., dwarven society.
Yeah, building
totally
shit.
lawful.
So even though you're on the outside of dwarven society, you're still like in favor of it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I'm not that far outside. I don't consider myself outside.
Right, of course.
Other people may consider me outside. That's
Okay.
true.
Now your belief is a philosophy, code, or belief that guides you. Something that drives you, perhaps in desperation, to seek wealth or adventure. Invent one for your character, write on your character sheet in the area. If you invoke the belief in play, if it guides your actions, gets your character into trouble, you earn a reward at the end of the session. So your belief could be just something that you... something that your character like wants or thinks about the world, something they think about themselves or adventuring, something they think about the spot that they're in, something they think about, like you could have like, I am obviously the leader of this band, or I need to guide these poor fools so that they don't die in the dungeon, or I will make good on my promise to return home rich. Things that your character just like believes in, short philosophical statements. Yeah, and they don't have to be like perfect. They're just a thing that later you can point at and be like, bam, I did that. There was at least one time. They're really more like alignments in Dungeon World. You could just point to them and be like, this one thing, I did it. I did that thing during the game.
And that's our belief.
That is your belief, yeah. And playing it will earn you a fate point. Yeah. I deserve better than this is a good belief. The finer things in life are a necessity, even in the dungeon. Hunger is a worse killer than blades. I'd stop at nothing to get what I want. Dave, for you could have something like anything burns with the application of enough heat.
I think I've got one, if this is okay.
Okay.
And it is simply that everything about this situation is bullshit.
Perfect. That is definitely a good belief.
I just want to get out of here alive.
Yeah, that's definitely a belief. You can also like there's some crossover between beliefs and goals. Like get out of here
like,
alive can be a goal. The belief. Feel free to even like go like more philosophical. Like why does your character believe they deserve to get out of this alive? Like make it more philosophical than that. Because then you can make your goal more like oriented towards. Fuck everything. Yeah, I mean that's a belief.
It basically
do you know what you want yours to be, Harga?
I don't. I'm trying to think of. My brain is not at its sharpest.
Yeah, that's
today.
okay. So the next bit, I mean, you can keep thinking about your belief. Is an instinct. It's a conditional statement of action. You just have one. It's a thing that is like always do this, never do that. If that happens, do this. It allows you to cheat. Honestly, like it allows you to bypass the turn order. So if, for example, you come into a room, let's say you have your character has a belief that's like map every room. Or an instinct. Map every room. That's an instinct. It doesn't take your character a full turn to make the map of the room. It's not an action. You don't even have to tell me you're doing it. Retroactively, your character definitely did it all the time. Like that's just a thing you do. This is a way that you can cast spells before a fight starts. You can hide before a fight breaks out. You can basically just say like, nope, already did it, and point at your instinct, and your character's instinct did that. And unlike beliefs, and unlike the way that instincts work in a lot of games that are using the same system, instincts are here to help the party and get you out of trouble. And if they do that, then you earn a point for them. They don't get you in trouble. So these are ways, if you write a clever belief and it comes up in the game, you can also use these to have free stuff happen when you make camp. So like when I make camp, do this, and it happens before without a check. It just occurs. Your character doesn't even think about it. So these are things that your character just will do without thinking. Dave, for you, like having an instinct like cast the like Hero's Destiny one or whatever before a fight breaks out. You can do that, and then immediately when the fight starts, everybody's already got the spell cast on them. But it'll only come into play once if you have that spell memorized. So they're kind of conditional. You got to be a little careful with.
Okay, and you can earn off of it like only once per day.
Yeah, once per session, you'll earn a point if you if you. So yeah, okay. don't like they're not long term. They're not like long term things. They're just you take an action when they're triggered. So make the trigger clear and the action that you take when it's clear.
Okay.
Can I use that to like cook for free?
Yes.
And like camp would only mean the camp phase, right? Like we don't.
Yes, yeah. You never camp without it being the camp phase, but you can't trigger the camp phase unless someone has a check.
Have to earn checks.
Yeah.
To do it.
Yeah, and like we don't have the thing like in D&D where you rest every X.
That's right. Yeah.
Turns.
I mean, you're gonna want to. It's just whether or not.
Yeah, this is so page because Chad is asking. People have read this game before. On page 83. Camp instincts. Using an instinct in camp does not cost a check. Just happens. So an instinct like when we make camp, cook a meal for everyone. That's great because it'll happen. You don't have to spend a point, and you're good to go.
See, I feel like my character is like, I feel like the helpful stuff for the other characters around like spell casting and map making and cooking and stuff feels a little bit more obvious. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure what to. I guess I can repair armor with armorer.
Yeah. Whenever we make camp, repair any damaged gear.
Yeah. Okay.
You can.
Because I'm just trying to think what else would be useful.
Look at your skills. Like whenever we make camp or whenever we enter a room, scout for danger. Right. Free check.
Yeah. I can use scout. I was like, give an inspiring speech.
Yeah. Totally. And that's like a thing, right? Like.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like when battle starts, deliver an inspiring speech.
Yeah.
No matter what.
It's so awesome. It's just like everyone's all like raring to go.
Yeah.
I feel like the way I cast Heroic Destiny is going to be part of this trait. And I don't think I'm actually a good enough spellcaster her to like do a specific thing for heroic destiny, and it's just the kind of like apathy I have and like the uselessness I seem to like exude whilst in the dungeon makes like everyone around me in my party like look more confident.
Right,
and
so it's a
capable.
spell of compare and contrast.
Yeah, I'd quite like to. I don't know how to word that as an instinct.
Well, I mean,
I think I'll just.
As an instinct, you can just say, whenever a conflict breaks out, cast the spell. You don't have to make it really characterized. You don't have to like be complex about it. You can describe that in the moment. So whenever a fight breaks out, cast that spell.
Yeah, I will go for that.
And then,
because
Harga, what did you choose for yours?
I think maybe I'm gonna go with scouting as my instinct and do armor more specifically.
Yeah, because you don't always damage your equipment, but you will. Scouting a room is a good call.
Can I do something with what is criminal used for?
Picking locks, setting traps, undoing traps, that kind of thing.
And do I need any stuff in order to set traps, or could I have some kind of instinct where I like lay traps behind us?
That
seems dangerous. Also.
Yeah, that is a terribly dangerous. It's not a bad instinct. It's just as soon as you do it, and then you're like, we have to run out of this room. I'm like, cool. You run right into the halfling's trap. It's dangerous business.
Maybe I won't do it. Maybe I'll have something about making merry or some shit.
I think the cooking one is a good one because then it doesn't cost a check.
It doesn't cost us a check. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. It's kind of obvious, but it's also really good. So
sometimes the obvious ones are obvious because they are really good.
Yeah, totally. One of the
obviously good.
So Radic Dro, he was sharing with me what he did for one of his characters is he took instructor or something, and he was like, every time we make camp, train these fools. So every time they got in, he gave checks to he gave tests to other people. So he was like, all right, everybody, we're making camp. Calisthenics time, and go. Right? Like, and his character was just the drill instructor, so that every time they rested, somebody else would get he would get a fate every time, and somebody else would get a check. It was later on in the game once he earned instructor, but there's lots of different ways you can kind of game the system that way. Okay, cool. So that's it. Everybody has a belief. So now all we have to do is write our goals. So I'll tell you what the goal is. I'll set up the adventure, and then you can write your goal. So a goal is literally just a thing your character wants to do this session. It can be literally just get out of the dungeon alive. Mm-hmm. It could be get more loot than somebody else. It can be it can be about the mission itself. It can be like find a missing person or kill a certain monster. It's just like a thing that hopefully you can accomplish in the next like 2.5 hours. Cool. Right? Okay. All right. So let us begin.
And sorry, before we do that, one last thing. Can I just double check? What are the so there's like Dwarven Adventure. What's the Elven one?
Ranger.
Okay.
Elven Ranger. Yep.
Just had to fill in my enemy.
Okay. Yeah, enemies and family and stuff generally kind of come in the camp phase.
I know. I just wanted to get them out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, and my belief is the Dwarven way is the best way.
Nice. We got to do this the Dwarven way. Drunk and angry. All right. So, so for all y'all, I'll do the traditional reading of the box text, and we can begin. Okay. So, this is a wild and dangerous land filled with forbidding forests and savage monsters. Along the lonely roads that bind civilization together can be found wayhouses, fortified inns where travelers may rest behind stout walls and have a hot meal before venturing forth once more into the unknown. The House of Three Squires is such a wayhouse. Situated on a lonely stretch of the post road, it's an easy day's travel from the nearest town. You've decided to leave town and head for the famous house in order to plan your next move with your new, like-minded companions. The evening is cold and blustery when you arrive at the stockade that surrounds the House of the Three Squires, and you've built up a powerful thirst for one of the famed Three Squires' sour beers. The stockade gate stands open and unattended, occasionally slamming home with a great thud when the wind catches it just right. It doesn't take you long to realize something is very wrong at the Three Squires. Not only is the place open to the elements and undefended, it seems deserted. And then you find the pool of congealed blood. Whoever, or whatever it was that left that blood, something or someone appears to have dragged it through the kitchen and down into the cellar. So the dungeon that lies before you is is called Under the House of the Three Squires. You can write your goal about the house itself. It can be about obtaining some treasure. It can be about any of that stuff. Find out what happened to the denizens of the House of the Three Squires is a perfectly acceptable goal.
My goal is to show my companions that I can do more than just cook.
Good. Okay. Some suggestions here are like, I will drive out the evil that has overtaken this place. I will impress my companions with my bravery. I'll discover what happened to the house's clients. That kind of thing.
I'll find a way to profit out of this dumb situation that I don't want to be in.
Perfect. That's great. I'll find some profit in this poor situation. It goes nicely with your belief about everything being bullshit.
Yeah.
Cranky old wizard.
Yeah, he really is just like... I noticed I'm supposed to choose between like 16 and 21 for my stock, but I'd already written these 52.
Fine, it's all good.
He's just a grouchy old man.
Totally all good.
And you just like... Yeah.
Humbug dungeons.
He had this store, and then, now it's just bullshit.
I hope that your character has lots of exciting anecdotes about when I was a boy or when I had a store.
I bet they're both older than me. Well, that's the thing.
Well, the halfling probably isn't. So, Mary, when you got your goal, Harga, what's your goal? You're muted or very quiet, or both.
I'm unmuted.
There we go. Perfect. Okay. Hit me.
Also, what is age range on a dwarf?
Oh, I don't know. Slightly older than a human. It's your call.
I'm gonna be like 78. Perfect. Is that slightly older? He's 50. I don't know.
Yeah. I can't remember where I found it already. Oh, here we go. Dwarf 30 to 51.
Okay, great. Then I'm 40. 40.
40? 40.
40.
Like Dwarven Vision. It's 40.
Yeah. Goal. I kind of wanted to make a really silly one about like, I will drink stein of the inn's famous ale. Okay. But instead, I will make it something about my companions, I think. I think, I want to like protect them from harm or defeat a foe, something like that.
Yeah, you could say, I will defeat a worthy foe while in this dungeon. That's perfect. That's a great...
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so Harga seeks a worthy foe. All right, cool.
To defeat?
I'll just drop Cthulhu into the first room. It'll be no problem.
It's not worthy. Come on.
You're not worthy, Cthulhu. All right, so everybody begins the adventure fresh. That means until you take another condition, until you're hungry and thirsty, you get an extra die for anything you do. So keep that in mind. You stand at the top of the stairs leading down into the cellar. Splinters and gouges mar the floor and walls in tracks leading towards a rickety stair leading down into the darkness, as if something heavy has been dragged this way. A slightly unpleasant, spicy odor hangs damp in the air, getting stronger as you approach the stairs. What's everybody gonna do?
Yo, so if there's one thing D&D taught me, it's that everything is trapped all the time. So how do I check for traps?
So if you want to, okay, so it sounds like that's the plan. There is light because you're still taking the upstairs, but someone will need to light. The stairs are dark, so you'll need light. Basically what happens is that a turn contains one test or conflict. So if as a group you agree that the test you'd like to spend a turn right now examining the stairs for safety, someone can make a test for that.
I think that would be good.
Yeah, we could do that. That would probably be your criminal skill.
It's scout in this case.
Oh, scout.
Yeah, looking
That's
for
me.
danger. I
do that automatically anytime we enter place.
Yeah.
Oh, scouting.
Okay, so
we don't need to waste any time on it.
So you don't have to waste a turn. All right, so our first
we enter.
So our first test is a scout test. You instinctively scout out the stairway. But who's got light? We need to start tracking light.
I'll
not me.
lantern up.
Okay, so we're using a lantern.
Mhm.
All right, the lantern provides full light for 3 people for 3 turns. Good stuff.
Okay.
All right, so I'm tracking it on my little GM tracker. Okay, so for a scout test, you're gonna make a test to examine the stairs, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna say ob 3. So if you click the roll macro, you've got a number of dice to begin with, starting with your scout score.
And my scout is 3.
Okay. You have 1 extra die from your being fresh. And is anybody else helping?
I have a question about using wises to help.
Yes.
How does it work?
You can use them once per session to assist somebody else making a test and isolate yourself from the results if they fail.
Okay, Hilary, are you rolling lots of dice on this test? It's all
I'm rolling 1 more. Well, what did you say it was? Ob 3? Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rolling 1 more than the ob right now. You can also help me by doing a thing, not just by like standing back and telling me.
Yeah, you can help with help. You can help with another skill. You can help with scout.
Or with scout or...
Yeah, I'm checking how likely it is that you'll fail. And if it seems likely to me that you might fail, I'm going to help with a wise. So yeah, I think I'm going to use sticking your nose in it wise. Because...
it's the first test and you're already like,
this shit's bad. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm like pretty like scared. I'm like hanging back.
And is this the
only I don't know. It's probably not safe.
Is this the only time that that's going to be able to be used in the whole thing?
Yeah, I think you can use wises once per session.
Cool.
For our first sticking of our nose in it, I will use it.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and go to make that test, please.
And so do I get any additional things from...
You get 1 extra die from Andrew's character helping.
Okay. And you said it was an ob 3?
Ob 3, yeah. Good.
I didn't do it.
All right. So you did not do it. Now, your characters, because we're just getting started, you have no fate, you have no persona, you don't have any rewards points to do anything. So if you had fate, you could use it to reroll those 6s. But unfortunately,
I can mark a fail on my scout, right?
But definitely mark a fail on your scout test, yeah. Okay. So I think that you come up to the stairs. Upagast has the lantern held high. You have this like, your halfling friend being like, I don't know, looks dangerous. How is your character like testing the area for traps? Like, what do you do?
Well, I'm like, the lantern's there. I just kind of like walk up to it, and, like stomp my foot on the top stair.
Okay, perfect.
Hit the wall with my hand.
So you storm up to there, you're like, and like stomp hard on the top stair, and your foot goes right through it. The board is like rotting and like mold, and it goes right through, and you like start flailing your arms and like pitching forward, and you're about to fall down the stairs. So I need you to make an ob 2 health test, or fall down the rickety stairs.
And so my health is 5, right?
Yes, people nearby can help with health if they have free hands, right? You have to describe how you're helping, right? If you want to try to grab your dwarven friend.
I'm gonna run up and try to grab Harga's belt.
Okay.
Tug on her, so it's like this little tiny halfling, and they're like.
But just like push my center of gravity back far.
Yeah, just like slightly rebalance the scales.
Okay.
Can both of us help, or is it just the one?
Yeah, you can both rush forward and help for sure.
If you,
I'll grab up with the hand as well and try and grab cloth and fabric while I'm holding the lantern up.
Okay, so this will take your first turn of light, reacting to this complication. And you're gonna roll your health, and then you get 2 helping dice, 1 from each character, plus your fresh.
Oh yeah, so 8.
Yeah, and it's ob 2, not to tumble forward.
Okay.
We'll see if I can manage it.
I think you could probably manage it.
I mean, probably, but that's not the same as doing it. I barely do.
Barely made it. Okay. So, sweaty and struggling with all your friends helping, they heave you back up into the like kitchen, and you can see now it's clear Your heavy stomp just confirmed it. The stairs, something like they're all damaged. They're cracked and broken. Whatever the heavy thing that got dragged down these stairs, damaged them enough that you can't just traipse down the stairs. They'll collapse.
And I'm like, ugh, this is what happens when you make things out of wood.
Yeah, and Merwin is just like,
When it
gosh,
happened with stonework.
you're heavy. And I'm like dusting myself off. How'd you get so heavy? You don't eat nearly enough to be that heavy.
I'm made of rocks.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, had you been, like, you had a pretty big pool of dice. Had you been confident there in the results, you could have used Born of Earth and Stone against yourself to be like, I am way too heavy to help. I, like, pitch forward. You would have lost a die, but you'd gain a check. So something to think about.
Yeah. I will definitely do some check gaining. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also useful if you know. It's also useful if you know you're gonna fail to just throw it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of turn 1. What's next? There's this like ratty, like broken staircase ahead of you. You have to find a way down into the dungeon.
All right.
Well,
I have some rope. We could use my rope to go down.
That's reasonable. Attached to my grappling hook. I knew there was a reason I brought it.
Okay, so in what way are you using rope to help you get down?
I think we're like tying it onto the end of the grappling hook, wedging the grappling hook in like the edge of the door, and then like going down. So even if we fall, we'll still have the rope that's like.
So you can't like fall fully through the stairs.
So you're accepting a degree of falling through the stairs is going to just happen?
Yeah, like the stairs are going to give way a bit, and we're just going to have this rope already.
We could light the stairs on fire, completely remove them from the equation.
Along with the inn itself.
Whatever. You shouldn't make things out of
never
you want them to last. Collateral damage.
I've told you both many times before already. It wasn't me. The fire, I had nothing to do with it. It was Carlos.
Dude, you've been hanging out for like 6 hours. You've told us way too many times for a 6 hour.
Is that young Carlos? Always with that grin on his stupid face.
Oh, well,
Again, I'll throw my darts at him.
well, another thing we could do. Can I like? That's gonna use another check, and it's not gonna get us further into this first room.
Right.
Yeah. I think can we like shine the lantern in there, but I feel like I don't know. That's the best idea that Harga's come up with at this point.
Just to like rappel down the stairs, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Treat it like a rock face.
Obviously.
And rappel down it.
And I'm picturing these as being like fairly steep stairs, Adam. Like pseudo ladder kind of thing. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so basically
that
just
makes a lot of sense.
not treating them as stairs, treating them as like a surface, like a rock surface or whatever that you would rappel down.
Yeah, and that way most of your weight's actually on the rope,
Yeah.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, your considerable weight, Master Dwarf.
Would it be possible if we tried to traverse down with that? I could help with something like Pathfinder, looking for good handholds and footholds if we're like using parts of the wall as well when we don't trust the stairs.
So Pathfinder is more of like finding a way from one place to another over like a larger distance.
But I could potentially use like Dungeoneer.
Yes, Dungeoneering is great for this bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the way it's got to be, if someone could go down first, I don't trust the strength in these arms. I've only been lifting books for the longest time. I'm not like you two stout fellows. Fine, if we must come down here, then
I'm just an old man.
Oh, the old man voice. Yeah, I'm like, okay, great. We're gonna do this a dwarven way, and I'm just gonna like say that this is the dwarven way.
Right.
And they're like, is that really how dwarves? Yes,
A
it
dwarf
is.
is doing
I'm a
it.
dwarf. Please, thank you. Yeah.
So
do that then.
What's the plan here? You're gonna make like a makeshift like rope ladder or something like?
I'm going to attach rope to a grappling hook and then rappel down the stairs.
What are you attaching the grappling hook to?
The edge of the doorway frame.
Hook it on there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Make a Okay. Let's make a dungeoneer. You make a dungeoneer test, Master Dwarf. And you can get an extra die for having the rope. It's a steep and sort of perilous drop, so I'm gonna say ob 5 for this test.
Okay.
If you succeed at ob 5, that'll get everybody downstairs. So you'll all be down at the bottom.
So I'm rolling 5.
You've got dungeoneer, you've got fresh, you've got 1 die from the rope. Is anybody helping?
So I'm going to use 5.
I'm going to use my scholarly knowledge of geometry and forces.
Get out of
to
here.
show that
In this case, listen. In this case, you could help with laborer. You could help with weaver. You could help with dungeoneer, obviously, if you have it. I would definitely say lore is not helpful in this case.
Can I help with scavenger?
I mean, maybe you think you're helping. No, scavenger would require a separate test to scavenge materials.
Right, and then we're gonna
Now, if you want to, hold on. Now, if you want to, as an adjunct, if you want to scavenge first, you could find like pieces of wood to tie into the rope to make handholds to make it safer. But that would take up another turn.
Are we down for that?
Also, I just love the idea of Dave, of your character being like, let me tell you some things about rope. Now, rope was first invented in the year 22. That's a funny year because there's 2 2s in a row. That wouldn't happen again until the year 222. Anyway. Yeah, so I guess that's the question. Do you want to spend another turn scavenging bits of material, or...
Right now, it's basically an impossible check for me, so I would just throw it. An impossible test, so I would throw it, thereby earning us a check. But if you want to make it slightly less impossible, I might still throw it, thereby earning us a check.
All right, go ahead and throw it.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're rolling... How many dice are you rolling?
5.
I'm not helping.
Okay.
I'm rolling 5.
I'm washing my hands of this shit.
But can I only use a trait once per session?
Not against yourself. You can use it against yourself over and over.
Oh yeah,
and over.
At least 6 times. Perfect.
Okay, so you're using your trait. Which trait are you using against
Either
yourself?
one of them kind of work. I think it's actually fiery though, because I'm like, oh, it's not how I expected it to go, and the other two are like, well, maybe we should be a little bit more careful. Or
Just Leroy, you
no,
cannonball down the stairs.
If it had been built properly with stone, it would be fine. We're just gonna do it this way, and I'm like not paying heed to their like, this seems a bit dangerous. Like, no, I know best.
Okay. So you're doing that. You're going to use your trait against you,
Yeah, so
which
I'm rolling
loses
4
your
on
die.
5.
Yeah. Now, is anybody helping, or did you just barrel on ahead without anybody's help?
I just barreled on. That's part of
I'm not
fieriness.
Perfect. I just want to know because when you fail, like, whether at a given conditions.
That's why I.
Okay. All right.
Decided failure coming.
Go ahead and roll anyway. You're going to get a failure on your dungeoneer test.
Yeah, Meron was like close to the stairs, like looking down, but like they just look really worried. You know, like
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you
So
doing?
here's what happens. What's your character's name? Harga. Okay, Harga. Yeah, you like tie the rope around your waist real quick, run and just leap off the edge. And yeah, it is literally like watching a wooden rampart get hit with a cannonball. You smash into the stairs, blowing the stairs to pieces, throwing bits of stair everywhere. You land hard on the ground. The rope was too long, and I think you just like crashed into the ground, like rolled. And then you stand up, covered in like bits of broken wood. The entire staircase is broken, but the rope is down and secure, so your friends can follow you. You're gonna take the I'm gonna give you the exhausted condition. It was a tiring fall. You're not hurt.
So I should get rid of fresh, right?
Yeah, get rid of fresh, and in replacement
You're
take
just like super winded and
breathing hard. So this means it's a factor in all tests except resources, circles, and recovery. So when I'm giving you an obstacle, if it's a physical test, or actually if it's an all tests except those ones, consider the ob 1 more. So if I say it's ob 3, it's actually ob 4. Until you get a chance to rest. But now you have a check, so you can make camp whenever you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be at the bottom. I'll be like wheezing for a minute, and they'll be like, "See, it's just slide down here. There's a solid floor. You should come down the rope."
Okay. So the other two of you can climb down the rope safely, thanks to Harga's bodily sacrifice.
I'm having to trust my life to that. Oh.
Are you just literally muttering that kind of thing under your breath?
Yeah. No, it's bullshit. You're bullshit. It's bullshit.
Everything's bullshit. It's true. Okay. All right. So everybody reaches the bottom of the cellar stairs, and what you see there in the light of your lantern, which will be going out at the end of the next turn, is a fairly large room. I'll read the text to you. So a large, low-ceilinged room that is chill and slightly dank. Only a little dank. Kind of dank. It's filled with bric-a-brac, tables, chairs, crates, storage for the inn above. Much of it appears to have been smashed and broken. Scorch marks mar the walls, and pools of blood spot the floor. From here, there are 2 doors on the opposite wall from you, on the north wall. 2 wooden doors, and on your right there's what looks like a broken through tunnel that has been burrowed into this room from somewhere else.
Oh, I'm interested.
I see scorch marks in here. My speciality.
Yeah, the door on the left. The door on the left has a pile of debris that, at a glance, looks like it's been intentionally gathered up to block the door. Like there's a crude barricade.
Maybe someone's trapped behind there. Needs our help. Surely some of the folks from here must be alive.
So there's a tunnel that's burrowed in, and then something else is blocked off, or it's that.
There's three different ways out of this room. There's on your right in the far corner. There's a tunnel that leads off somewhere. It's been burrowed through. The walls here are just like the natural mud and stone of the sort of hillside that it's been built on.
Yeah.
Straight ahead of you, there's a right hand door and a left hand door. The left hand door is barricaded by piles of furniture and bric-a-brac, as the rules describe it.
Well, either we should clear it out and go in there, or we should leave it blocked and better uninvestigated.
Well, we should do it in the order that means the whatever's on the other side of the door is a problem for later. We have 2 problems already. We don't want to make a third. Now, while you decide which, I'm going to just make a note of all the doorways in here just so we don't get lost, because I'm sure without me, we already would be. And
Hey now.
Yeah.
All we did is come down some stairs. Wasn't that bad? Bet you 2 have never been underground.
Cartographer.
I grew up underground.
So, Harga, you are in a new room, and I'm only.
Yes.
This will be the only time I nudge you to use it.
Oh yeah. So do I have to tell you that I scout every time? I guess
Yes,
I have to
you have to. You have to say. You have to be like, I'm using my.
Okay, great. I'm using my instinct. I'm scouting.
Okay, so you're gonna.
I wasn't sure if I had to.
Okay.
I guess since it's a roll one, I have to actually roll it every time.
Make an obstacle 2 scout test, please, for this room.
Okay. Checking my scout. 3.
Yeah,
And
no one can help you with this because it's an instinct. You do it too fast for them to even react.
Mm-hmm. And so exhausted is a factor in this.
Absolutely. So it'll actually be 3.
And my scout is 3. So 3. A 3. So close.
So close. Okay, mark a fail.
Oh man, I'm gonna get so many fails. The best. Level this up.
Okay, so I think that so I get to either introduce a twist or I get to put another condition in. I am going to. I'm gonna say that from the tunnel, as you're looking around, from the tunnel to the right, you hear and a cold wind blows suddenly through the room, extinguishing your lantern. So you're dropped into darkness. So your lantern goes out.
I light my candle.
Okay, so hang on. So yeah, you'll have to stop and yeah, that last was a nice gentle twist, that last use of the oil flask is out. So you can't.
Okay.
You won't get that. So you'll have to refill it. But you want to light a candle?
Yeah, I'm gonna light my candle. So I'm like, oh, silly wizard, let his light go out. Better have a backup.
So lantern, then we switch to a candle. Okay, so now the only person... So there's light for one person holding this candle. And one other person is in dim light.
So yeah, I think I am like helping Mr. Wizard like with his lantern. So I'm like giving him light so he can like fish out the oil and like fill it and do all this shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm standing in the dark like, Good. There's 3 entrances to this room. That one's covered in 7. I'm just standing in the dark like reporting back what I have scouted.
Okay.
Which is just exactly everything that everybody already saw when we got into the room. Not helpful.
But now it's the dwarven way.
I'll relight the lamp. Like
Okay.
you kind of have to, so
Can you turn out a candle and then relight it? Or is it just
yeah, you could snuff a candle and relight it.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, so now you have a candle and a lantern lit. And you're ready to go.
does
So
it take
when-
my turn to cartography?
No. You just have to be allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
If I relight it while they're scouting around, can I just mark the room quickly?
Yeah, just write down the room.
Okay.
Yeah,
You were
because David
describing
Player
it.
has to actually like write down the name of
You need
every
a
room.
list of rooms, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna like with the light back on, I'll be like, this one's made of stone. We're going that way.
You
So
want
the one that was tunneled in that I
Yeah.
can see, I'm like, this is obviously the best way to go.
Okay. Does that sound okay to the rest of the party? You want to head down that direction?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So you head off down into the cold wind that blew up from that room. So as you head off in that direction, why don't we take our second break and we'll pick up in the dank room beyond. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Cool. Stick around. More Torchbearer when we get back.